start off our video by telling you how much Miss Megan and I miss you very, very much, and we miss seeing you and spending time together. I'm going to give you my hug from me to you. I'm going to put my arms around you, and you can do the same and just give a little squeeze. Know that I love you and that I'm thinking about you. We're talking about the letter W today, and W is one of my favorite letters. There's a lot of fun words that start with letter W, and I have a couple of activities here that you can do. Now, you may or may not have all of the items you need to do these activities, but I promise out of the 3 that I'm going to show you, at least one of them will be something that you can do at home. The word write and words, even though they sound differently and they both don't have the W sound, they do start with the letter W. And our first activity is writing. Now, this is a baking sheet. I'm sure Mom has one. You can do this inside, you can do this outside, and it's very easy for you to clean up all by yourself. We're going to start by taking some shaving cream, and we've done lots of crafts with shaving creams. We've done shaving cream art, we've made puppy paint, we've made slime, we've done all kinds of things with shaving cream. And you may or may not have this, but if you do, this is something you can do with shaving cream. Okay, remember, shake, 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 shake your booty. When it's all shaken up, we're going to put some shaving cream in our pan. Now remember, this comes out as a kind of foamy, and it expands, which means it gets bigger once you start to spray it. Here we go. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. Now, you're going to want to do this with your hands, but because Miss Karen is doing several other activities with you, I'm going to use something called a spatula to spread this out. And I'm just going to spread it thinly all over my pan. And I'm going to turn this into kind of like a board that you would use like for chalk or a writing board. Just smooth it out. Okay. Now you can write with lots of different things. I'm going to use my finger to begin with, and I'm going to write high. Letter H, line across, then a line down with a dot on top. High. You actually see it as I-H. Let me get a wipe here. Now when you're writing, you can write lots of different things. But what I want you to practice writing, after you practice making a W, and I'll do that for you right now, W. W is like an upside down M, which is a mountain. So we're going to start here. We're going to go down diagonally, up, down, up. W. Let me smooth this out. You may have a long name, you may have a short name. I'm going to use a couple of short names of friends that we have in our play group. The first one I'm going to use is a friend of mine who loves letters. He spends a lot of time writing letters with chalk outside and knows all the letters of the alphabet. And his name is Max. So there's M, oops, A, X, Max. Let's smooth it out again. Let's see if we can figure out another name that's short. I can think of one. How about Eve? E, V, E. Eve. Let's do another one. We can do, let me think. What about, here's another N name that we can use. fingers are kind of full of foam. Wipe them off a little bit. Okay. What about Mia? Line down. Remember, M is like an upside down W. M. There's letter I. And there's A. Mia. You can practice all different letters. You all recognize what your name looks like, so that's definitely something easy that you can write. If you're not sure what the letters look like, ask Mom to write them down first on a piece of paper, and then you can copy them. Okay? When you're all done with this activity, it cleans up very easily. Okay? You just take your pan. If you're outside, you can spray it with the hose and then bring it inside. Or you can run it under the water in the sink. Mom may want to help you, but it's definitely something you can do yourself, and you should always clean up after yourself because you can. Let me put this in the sink, and I'll show you the next item. Now, shaving cream has a little bit of a smell to it. It's not a bad smell, it's just a little bit different. Clean off my work surface here. The next activity that we're going to do is called a web, like a spider web. If we were at school, Miss Karen has a tub that we've turned into a big spider web, and we've put little spiders inside. This is a fine motor skill. You're going to take a paper plate and a hole punch. May or may not have a hole punch, but it's pretty easy. And you're going to punch holes around the circle. You can punch as many or as few as you'd like. I have quite a few in here. Okay, when you're satisfied with the number of holes that you have, you're going to need some string. Miss Karen used some ribbon that I just happen to have, but you might have string or yarn or something like that. And the first thing you're going to do, you're going to need a little help from Mom. You're going to put your ribbon through the hole, and then we have to tie a knot in it. Over, under, through, over, under, through for my 3-year-olds who have already been practicing that skill. We're going to come to the very end. Be sure you cut a very long piece because we want to make a big web. There's no right or wrong way of doing this, and this will keep you occupied for some time. Don't get frustrated. It's really easy. We're going to take the end of our string and we're going to put it through the hole. Oops, mine jumped out. Let's try again. Through the hole, and then, oh, popped out again. You can see where this might get a little frustrating. And pull it through. Oops, look, it's on the back side and not on the front side. And that's okay, but I'm going to show you how to do it the way that it'll look most like a web. Okay, we're going to go all the way through. There's our first line. Now in the back, we're going to pick another circle. It doesn't have to be right next to it, another hole, and we're going to pull through. And then you can put it through a different hole, anywhere on the plate you like. Oops, slippery hands today. You can see why this might take a little bit of time and concentration. It's something that requires patience. We'll be reading a book about patience in a little while in a different video. Here is the start of my web. Now I'm going to go through a couple of times pretty quickly to just give you an idea of what this should look like when we're finished. This is a lot like the lacing cards that we use for letter L. Do a couple more real quick and you'll see that it'll look like a web. There's no right way or wrong way to do this activity, just your way. Okay, so now you have an idea. You can tell that mine looks a little bit like a web. You may think that that's the end of this activity, but it's really not. And I'll show you in a little while what else we can do with our web. I'm just going to put this aside for just a minute. This is something that I know you can all do at home. Miss Megan was talking about weather, spring weather in particular, and weather begins with W, and winter begins with W. We're no longer in winter, we're in the season of spring, but we still experience some wind. Wind is a feature that happens in weather. And I have a few things that I snatched from Mother's Morning Out just to show you how we're going to do this. And you can use whatever you have at home. It doesn't have to be exactly what I have. The first thing I have is a dinosaur. I hope you can see him. The next thing I have is one of the people from the People basket. A little toy. Whoops. He doesn't want to stand up. Ah, there you go. Here's a car from the Car basket. There's a bouncing ball. Whoop! Took that one from the prize box. Here's a teeny tiny lizard. It's hard to see. Here is a frog from the prize box that likes to hop. I'll show you again, see if I can make him hop high. Whoa! He hopped right off of my countertop. There he is. Here's an Easter egg. You'll be seeing a lot of these. You might have them laying around the house. This is one that I happen to have. I'm going to put him over here by my dinosaur. And the last thing I have is a block, and it's a W block. And there's a picture of a whale and a wagon. If you want to practice something that starts with W and you have a wagon, be sure and go outside and go for a ride in your wagon. I'll put that right here. Now, there's lots of ways that we can make wind. We could take our web and we could blow like this. Oh, my egg is moving, but nothing else is moving. Maybe if I do it like this, no. The more your item weighs, the less likely it'll move with wind. The lighter the weight, the more likely it will move. So I'm going to try and blow some wind using my mouth from way up here. See if I can get anything to move. You ready? No. Oh, there goes the ball. My frog and my egg moved a little bit. Now, the closer I get to these items, the stronger the wind becomes. So I'm going to get down very low and try and blow really hard and see what happens. My lizard hardly moved. My block didn't move. There goes the ball. There goes our car. Our little person barely moved. Our frog and our egg moved. Let's try our egg again. That weighs the least amount. Blew him right off the counter. But my dinosaur is not moving. Let's try something else. I'm going to try a straw. This is kind of a thick straw, but let's see if this makes a difference. I'll put my items back here again in a line and see if I can get them to move. I'll put the end of my straw very close to the item when I blow and see if that helps. Whoa, my lizard went far. Look how far that block went. There goes our car. There goes your ball. Oh, our little friend didn't move. Let's see if the people from the people box moves. Wow. And our frog, right off the table. And here's our dinosaur. He moved a teeny tiny bit, but he's the most dense and weighs the most, which is why he did not move much. All right, all these things are going back into their proper place. For me, that's my bag, so I can return them back to school. There's two other ways that we can learn how to use wind. We can learn to use wind to make music. Now, I know a lot of my friends love, love, love to play with trains. This is a whistle. It's actually a train whistle. It's a wooden whistle. If I blow on it, it's going to make a sound. Kind of like the sound of an engine coming down the track. If you have one of these, be sure you use it outside. Whistles are definitely an outside toy. Here's one that I took from the prize box. If I blow really hard, makes a loud sound. If I blow a little bit of air, it makes less of a sound. Let's go back to our web for just a minute. I'll put a few more strings through quickly, just to make it a little bit more challenging. The more times that you weave your string through your plate, the larger and more dense the web becomes. Can you see that? Let me take my little tiny lizard. Now you may have plastic insects at home or little tiny toys, and I'm going to pretend that this lizard is caught in my web. He can't move around much because the web is holding him down, much like a spider would hold down its fly that he wants to eat for dinner. How do you think we could get that spider out? Well, the easy way would be to maybe turn it upside down and shake him out. But the way that I want to see you try and do it is using your pinchers. Now, Mommy may have some tweezers. We use big plastic tweezers at Miss Karen and Miss Megan's. We have red ones and blue ones, and everyone likes to use them. We used them last when we did Ollie Ollie Octopus game, when we had to take the crabs off of the Ollie Octopus without touching his tentacles and making the music stop. But if you do not have tweezers, you can use your own pinchers. It's your thumb and your index finger. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Now, I'm going to try and get this lizard out of my web. I'm pinching, 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 but he's not coming out. I'm going to try and get him by his tail. Oh, I have him by the tail, but he's still stuck in the web. I'm going to pull, pull, pull. Oh, his legs are stuck in the web. He's not coming out. Maybe if I move him around a little bit on the plate, I can get him out. Slide him out. Oh, there he is, my little lizard friend. So, after you make your web, you can pretend to catch something in it, and then use your pinchers to save him and release them from the web. You can use it to fan your items that you picked to create wind to try and move them off of your table or your counter. So that's it for my W activities for the week. I hope you enjoyed them. I'll be back with a couple of stories on a subsequent video. I look forward to seeing you guys soon, but until then, hug from me to you. Listen to mommy, be helpful. Remember, you're accountable for your own actions, so if you take something out, please put it away. When you have snack, please clean up after yourself because you can. Another thing that you could do to make things easier for mom would be to ask what you can do to help her. She may ask you to take out the trash just like Miss Karen does, or maybe wash dishes, or maybe wash windows, or you could have a car wash outside. If Mom doesn't want you washing her car, I can certainly understand that, but I'm sure you have some riding toys that are covered with green slimy pollen that could definitely use a scrub. Just remember, clean up after yourself when you're done. It's all part of the fun. I hope you have enjoyed our little video on the letter W, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care. Bye, friends.